Hi, this is Erin Murphy with EM Health and Fitness, and I'm back again today to talk to you a little bit about some basics of exercise. To go along with the previous video that I filmed about the basics of clean eating, I'm going to share some of the main problems and issues I see when it comes to exercise, especially for women, and give you kind of a basic way to start exercising. Now, you're gonna get tired of my disclaimers, but I'm gonna keep them coming because there's no set one specific plan, exercise program, whatever, that's the end all be all, this is what you need to do. Basically, you need to find something that you enjoy and you need to do it consistently. So there's a million fit people out there that do different things. I have friends that run marathons that are extremely fit. I have friends that do CrossFit that are extremely fit. There's a whole bunch of online programs or programs that you can buy, P90X, those type of things. People that do those that are really fit. People that do triathlons. I have some girlfriends that are obsessed with Zumba and they look awesome. So you need to find an exercise program that you like and do it consistently. That being said, if you have not been exercising consistently for a while, nothing is going to be that fun because you're not in very good shape and it's going to be a little painful to get back in shape, right? So if you've kind of been a couch potato, you got to be honest with yourself. Find something that you hate the least. And when you get yourself in a little bit better shape, then you'll really start to enjoy it. But you may have to kind of gut it out for the first couple weeks, all right? So find something you like. The second thing I need to say is, aside from just finding something that you like to do, you need to incorporate both cardio and strength/resistance training into your workout program. So if you only do cardio, you're shooting yourself in the foot. If you only strength train, it's kind of the same deal. So make sure you're doing both. And along those lines, if you want to see the best results you can possibly see, we'll get right into it. One of the major problems that I deal with, or misconceptions, especially with women, many women don't strength train enough. They're what I call cardio queens. So if you just make sure you get your cardio in all the time and you neglect your strength training, you burn calories when you're doing cardio while you're doing that cardio. So your heart rate gets elevated, you get sweaty, whatever, you're running on the treadmill, you go for a jog. That's when you're burning the calories. During that time, maybe a half hour or so after you get done with your cardio training, you continue to burn calories. But as soon as that heart rate comes down, you're done. The more muscle mass you have, which you develop from your strength training, the muscle that you have in your body burns more calories. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn just in your daily life, just living your life. So one of my number one things that I tell women is, when in doubt, strength train. In your day, if you're looking at your day or your week and you're like, I only have 3 or 4 days this week, which you need to structure your life differently so you have more time than that. But if you only got 3 or 4 days in the week to train, you should be choosing strength training over cardio most of the time, not the opposite. And we tend to pick cardio instead, all right? So strength training. The other thing that strength training will do, if all you do is cardio and eat clean, you'll get smaller, but your body's still gonna be shaped the same. So if you're saggy in specific areas, you're still gonna be saggy there. If you strength train, everything's gonna be tight and toned and sucked in, and you'll have the shape you want to, all right? So there's my plug for strength training. Another major problem that I see with people when it comes to their fitness, we fall into 2 categories, give or take. So we already talked about our clean eating. I see a lot of women who overtrain but don't eat consistently clean. So they work out 2 hours every day, run, take fitness classes, just work out a ton, but they still don't see the results that they want because they use that as an excuse to eat things they shouldn't eat. They tell themselves, oh, I've trained so hard, I've exercised so hard this week, I can have this cookie, I can have this piece of cake, I can have this slice of pizza this weekend. And the fact of the matter is, when you're trying to get leaner, you can't really do that. You really have to keep your clean eating consistent for weeks on end and not fudge. Now, once you get yourself pretty close to where you want to be, there's a little more leeway, but there's really not much when you're trying to get leaner. So you don't need to exercise 2 hours a day, first of all, to get the body you want. But secondly, it doesn't matter. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet. So it doesn't matter if you exercised 4 hours a day. If you're not putting clean, healthy food into your body the way that you're supposed to in the correct portion sizes, you're still not gonna lean out, all right? I have friends that come to me all the time that have trained for marathons or done these exercise programs that are really intense and still haven't lost any weight, and it's your eating, all right? So there's the one category we can fall into. The other category that I see a lot is we don't train hard enough. Now, before I get into this in too much detail, if you're new to fitness and exercise, or even if you're not, anything is better than nothing. So don't fall into this all or nothing category. Oh, if I can't train for an hour every single day, I'm just not gonna train this day. Or if you have a day during the week where you just don't have a full hour, do a half hour. Split it up and do little increments of 10-minute things throughout your day. Whatever you can do is better than nothing. So keep that in mind. However, as you get going through your fitness program and your exercise gets a little more consistent, you need to make sure you are working out hard enough. For example, I have lots of friends that jog, okay? Jogging's great. It's great for your heart, it's great for your respiratory system, it's great to calm your nerves and lose stress and whatnot. However, if you simply go out for a steady state, meaning you just kind of jog at a nice pace for about an hour, that's a decent jog, right? You will burn, give or take, 200 calories. That is not enough to get you any leaner. To give you kind of a picture in your mind of what that would mean, these small mini meals that I talked to you about in my previous video about eating clean, healthy, clean, small meals, each one is about 300 calories. So you won't even burn off one healthy, clean meal if you just go out for a jog. Or another example, I had a group of ladies years ago that would go for a walk every single day. They would walk the same route. Now, that is great for you. However, there was several of these ladies that were complaining because they weren't losing weight, and they had been doing the same route, an hour walk, for years. First of all, your body's gonna adapt really quickly to that and quit seeing changes. Secondly, your heart rate's not up enough to burn hardly any calories at all. So you need to be working out harder. Not everybody, but if this applies to you, you gotta make those workouts a little bit more intense. The fastest way and the most efficient way to burn calories when you're doing cardio is to do high intensity interval training. That means getting your heart rate clear up to your max, so as high as you can go. You cannot maintain this level of work for more than 30 seconds or a minute, and then bringing it down a little, and then bringing it up and bringing it down, all right? There's a million ways to do this. Lots of fitness classes incorporate this style of training. A cycle class, even going out for a bike ride, you can incorporate this into your bike ride. Find some hills, go as hard as you can up that hill, and then coast down. As you're riding your bike, go as fast as you can go for an interval of 30 seconds or a minute, and then slow it down for 30 seconds or a minute, and continue like that. When you're jogging, you can do the same thing. Bring your heart rate up through a hill or a sprint, and then bring it back down, and continue through that. An easy, simple way to do that is just a 30-second split. So 30 seconds hard, 30 seconds a little bit easier, and then you can build up to eventually where you're doing a minute hard and a minute, and 30 seconds easier. Zumba classes incorporate that as well. The songs, some of them your heart rate's really high, some of them your heart rate's a little bit lower. Kickboxing classes, some of the things that I teach, you can do it a million ways. There's HIIT classes that people post online all the time. You can just follow along with that. I've got one. So when you're doing your cardio, think along those lines. Don't be a steady state cardio queen. All right, simple way to break up your workout for the week. Again, you don't have to follow this, but it's an easy way to do it. For beginners, I like to have people start out doing an upper body, lower body split. So 4 days of the week, and find a calendar, mark your days, decide what you're gonna do. 4 days a week you strength train, and you split up your upper and lower body. So for 45 to 60 minutes, 2 days out of the 4 days you lift upper body, 2 days out of the 4 days you lift lower body, right? And then you have 2 days of cardio. And you can choose your cardio, just make it intense, all right? So for beginners. As you get a little more advanced and a little more fit, I like to break up the body parts a little bit more specifically. I don't think 60 minutes even is enough time once you're pretty fit to give all of the muscle groups in your body the attention they deserve. For example, in your upper body alone, you've got your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, your back, your abs, right? Same thing with the lower body. We have all these different, and in your abs, you've got your obliques, you've got your lower back. Anyways, I could go on for days. So to make sure that you target all of those muscles, start to break up your training a little bit more. So the way that I train and the way I structure my classes as well, I will spend a day and just target like 2 or 3 specific muscles. And my workouts online, I tell you what specific muscle you're working so you can do this, right? So for example, today in my upper body class, we trained shoulders, back, and obliques. That was all we did for an hour. Then in my lower body class at the beginning of the week, we did inner thighs and glutes and abs. Just a simple way to break it down. I'll give you a list somewhere on my website or something of all the muscle groups and give you some suggestions on how to break those up. But I generally, if I could speak today, do about 3 muscle groups a day. So you can still break up your strength training to just 4 days a week, but localize that training even more specifically. You can also get to the point where you're combining your strength and your cardio. So you do some lifts and then you do some HIIT training in between, jumping jacks, high knees, something, bring that heart rate up and go back to lifting. If you want to lift every single day, that's an easy way to incorporate your cardio and your strength training. So, rewind this video if you need to. Figure out where you fall, where you need a little bit of extra work as far as your workouts are concerned, and figure out what type of a program you would like to start with. If you're going to do the upper body, lower body split, or if you're going to try to break down those muscle groups a little bit farther, train every single day. Well, 6 days a week. You need 1 day to rest. 6 days a week for 45 to 60 minutes each day. Structure your life so you can fit that in. It's very, very important. I just read a quote that said, train like your life depends on it, because it does. It's very true. So make this fit into your life. Don't tell me you don't have time, because you do. All right? So get your calendar out. I'll post one online as well here in the next couple days, but just a blank calendar. Write down what you're going to do each day. If you have some questions, let me know.